Matt woke up the next day groggy and tired. He had been tossing and turning the whole night, unable to sleep well, but certain that there was nothing that he could do. He had risen out of the four-poster carved wooden bed at various times, thinking that he should get something to put him to sleep, but instead choosing to slump back again rather than try to make his way down the steps with a candle to wake a grumpy alchemist. Maybe he should ask the man to give him something to keep by his bedside, though it was likely a one-off and short-term brew if the alchemist had anything to do with it. After all, everything nice was like that in this damn world. Ever since he had been killed and then reincarnated, Matt had realized that much of this challenge was set up to annoy a man like him. Indoor plumbing was at least sort of available, though a giant hole that you sat upon and took a shit into was not much better than a bowl. Then again, at least he never had to worry about flushing, just, falling into the garderobe and never emerging. Same with the food. The semi-sentient, half-real servants that dealt with the basics of survival made food. However, after multiple weeks, and boy did he wonder if there were years and months and seasons in this place, because so far it had been all one weather, the meals were getting tiresome. At least it wasn't just a single meal, but they had about a half-dozen dishes they had on rotation for each meal, and that was it. Matt had taken to keeping some of the food from one meal to the next, just to mix things up and slop together the bread from breakfast to go with the stew. He really wanted some good ramen, or hell, good old barbecue. Fried chicken so greasy and wrong that your heart was about to give way if you had it. The good stuff. Instead, as he finished swallowing the gruel with a touch of dried fruits that made up breakfast, he trudged up the stairs, sad and tired and exhausted. They'd beaten the harpies back, and that was good. They were even stronger, significantly, than their opponents. If the team could link up with the reinforcements and then push forwards again, hopefully finding the harpy base, then they could call this the end of things. A base with the harpies and having an aerial formation could be very useful. How useful, he was not certain, but they couldn't hurt, now could they? Of course, right now, he had numerous single-unit armies strung out all across his map, ready to be defeated in detail. If he got attacked, he had nothing to stop these units from being wiped out individually, which was why he had not found sleeping easy, nor would it be relaxing for at least a few more days, if not weeks. "𝗪𝒔𝒆, you awake?" Matt asked as he finally made it into the map room at the top of the keep. He flopped down next to the magical map, not bothering to look at it. Nothing new would have happened overnight, he assumed, though that wasn't always the case. If some unit had a 3-unit movement rate, it was possible they could have appeared later in the day. Or maybe units with night movements? Now that would be a big twist. But first, and more importantly, he had a question for his warlord. Of course, he opened the channel for 𝗪𝒂𝒂𝒊𝒄 too. She had earned that much consideration. "I am, my lord." "Present, sir?" "And?" Matt asked, tensing as he leaned forward. He eyed the units left, noted the new numbers. Seems like they had increased a whole sapling overnight, which was amazing. The priest's presence and magic were definitely making a difference in how fast the army units recovered. Whole new possibilities spiraled, with having a priest for each army, and then reality set in as the constraints of the contest came into play. "We have discussed our options, and we have decided that it is worth the risk of pushing ahead, my lord. Together we believe we can see off any attack, especially with 2 firecracker flower units." 𝗪𝒔𝒆's voice was full of confidence as he spoke. "Even if they bring in more heroes? Because we've only seen one. Unless it is a warlord, I believe we will triumph. And if it is, then we will endeavor to win," 𝗪𝒔𝒆 said.